everybody. I'm Jesse, and welcome to another edition of Genex Thinks Live. Oliver Russ, Tomcat, hanging with Christopher, Wayne Beatty. What's up, everybody? Thanks for showing up. Good evening, Wayne. And today I was going to kick off this show by reading a couple of things to you that I found on the internet. And as I do this, I want you to think that this is the kind of message, this is the kind of stuff that gets promoted in the algorithm. I've talked about this before, about how even when we're not directly censored, like they just delete your comment in the chat, right? They do that all the time. But also there's another, a quieter form of censorship where they will promote some messages and tamp down others, so you just don't see the content. You'll see whatever the higher ups, the media want you to see. All right, and this is the kind of shit they want you to see. This is the kind of shit that gets raised up in the algorithm. All right, so I ran across this one. Very sad facts about men. Most men starve for appreciation and remember one kind word for years. They learn to cry silently because no one stayed when they spoke. They carry strength like armor while breaking inside. They battle their minds alone, afraid honesty will cost them respect. They feel loneliness deeply but swallow it daily. They love quietly and bleed when it isn't returned. They're told to man up instead of being asked if they're okay. All right, that's the first one. And some of that stuff is true for me personally. Some of that stuff is true. Yeah, a couple of those on there, I can say that they're true, right? Maybe some of you will say that none of them are true. Some of you will say that all of them are true. But my thing is that's called just being a man. You know what I mean? Being a man is tough. It's not easy. We don't get to skate through life. Nobody ever told me in my life, oh, life is just going to be, a bowl full of pansies and people are just going to throw money at you and it's going to be no pressure, no stress, everybody's going to listen to you and care about your feelings and shit. Nobody ever told me that. So, that's just called being a man. It's not something to cry about online. It's not something to feel sorry for. It's not victimhood. It's not any of this bullshit. It's just called being a dude. That you're a dude. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to cry about it. You know what I mean? But this kind of shit is posted online now. Like the one about crying silently or something, that kind of shit. I don't know. I just, that shit rubs me the wrong way. Even when, it's veiled as a kind of positive thing about men trying to show women, I guess, because they're the only ones who aren't men, the struggles of manhood or whatever, some shit like that. But in reality, it just seems like weakness to me. I could be wrong. Maybe that shit just rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe, my elbow was hurting. I was in a pissy mood. I don't know. Oh, you slept yesterday away, Tomcat? Yeah, it's cold, dude. It's even cold down here. Hanging with Christopher. You're thinking about a channel. I say go for it, dude. I say go for it. Yeah, nothing. Doesn't cost a whole lot financially to get started anyway. And it's enjoyable. It's what's that called? Therapeutic, carcinogenic, something like that. Yeah. No, I say go for it, dude. And if you do start one, I promote people's channels all the time. Look down in the description here. Other Gen Xers channels are in the description of this video. Hitting It with Hardwire, Living and Active, Justanotherguyinthewoods, Ohio Valley Prepping. They're all down in the description in this channel of this video. And if y'all are interested, go check them out. But yeah, I'll help you promote your channel, Hanging. Mr. Hurst, somehow you made it to 58 without being shot by ice. you, you, you never tried to run over an ICE officer? How do you make it through life without trying to run over an officer of the law? That's crazy, Hurst. That's just lucky. You got a horseshoe up your ass, dude. Yeah. Dog karma. Oh no, Christopher. Yeah, our comments get deleted all the time. Ask Hurst right there, Mr. Hurst. Yeah, his comments get deleted all the time. Yeah, he's got no filter, and the algorithm comes down on him like the hammer of God, and deletes his shit all the time. Yep. Yeah. Raziel, what's up, Roz? Living and active. What's up? Glad to see y'all here. Yeah. Order from chaos. Yep. Yeah. Suffer with a smile. Yeah. Trauma's a great source of comedy. Jeff7, what's up? There he is. What's up, Jeff? Glad to see you here. Yeah. If you do feel a need to cry, once in a while when somebody dies or something, it's privately, but it's not. They act like we're crying all the time, silently. Oh, okay. All right, Christopher. Yeah, living. Yeah, we understood the assignment we were given exactly. Yeah, Futurama. Hearst. Oh, all right, Tomcat. Yeah, motorcycle rides blow the tears away. Nobody knows but you. That's a good plan, Tomcat. Everyone should have a motorcycle. Chaz, there he is. Wake and bake. Yeah. Chaz starts his morning out right. Midlife crisis. I don't know. I've heard that some dudes go through that or something. I heard more about midlife crisis when the boomers were going through it, I guess. I don't hear too much about it with us Gen Xers. I've never experienced any of that shit. Just another guy in the woods. What's up? Yeah, they believe that everything's going to be better in the future, and we know it won't. Yeah. Yep. I believe you're right, Lake. 200 miles in the ice and snow yesterday. Holy shit. Did you white knuckle it the whole way, or were you just calm and laid back, Hurst? Duncan, what's up, Duncan? Yeah, well, that's the newest thing. Their newest apocalypse they're throwing at us. They're calling for an ice age after 2 decades or 3 decades of the global warming, and then their shift to climate change, and now they're back to ice age. So who knows, dude. All right. So the next one is this. This kind of shit just kills me, man. All right. This is a group of people, male victims of female narcissists. I read that shit and I had to take a screenshot of it to talk about it here. And there are thousands of people in that group. Male victims of female narcissists. Now, everybody's had a crazy girlfriend or whatever. We know that's just par for the course. That's our lot in life. You hook up with a crazy woman once in a while or whatever. Sometimes you marry one, whatever the case may be. And it's the same for chicks, but they'll hook up with some wacko dude, But to claim to be a victim when you chose to enter the relationship, now you're a victim. You know what I mean? I've never. This whole victimhood thing just kills me with guys nowadays. These younger guys, they want to be victims, and they want to, Now that the first one I read about, we cry in silent and shit. Well, you're not really, because you're posting it. You know what I mean? You're telling the world you're crying. So that's not really that's not really true, is it? You know what I'm saying? All that silent strength you're talking about when you're posting it online for every, the entire population of the planet to see, that kind of that's the opposite of doing it in silence alone. Um, and all this victim shit just kills me. Men are just men. It's what we are. Describing manhood and getting out there and screaming about it with a bullhorn about how quiet and silent you are. Kind of defeats the purpose of the silent suffering. So yeah, it just blows my mind, the culture today of the younger kids. Oh, underground, yeah. Oh yeah, to celebrate that shit. No, we everybody cries when they celebrate, somebody killing Charlie Kirk or whatever, you know. But when a leftist gets killed, they want to make memes of it and shit. One of those ICE protesters, they want to make memes of it and celebrate her death, or the last guy that got shot by ICE, they want to celebrate his death. They're I keep telling everybody they're both the same side or the different side of the same coin. They're doing the same shit and pointing the finger at each other, right? So that's why I don't completely buy into all that shit. Yeah, I'm not on one side or the other. I judge each incident, each thing that happens on its own merits and by its own evidence, and then make a conclusion. Um, but I've seen it many, many times, and I'll admit I'm quick to judgment. If you involve yourself with officers of the law, there is a possibility that you will get shot. That's all I'm saying. There is that possibility. Now, is the officer of the law right or wrong, or a psycho, or a dick, or the nicest guy in the world? I don't know. But the possibility is there. So to do it is stupid. That's I personally don't do it. If the law's out there messing with somebody, I don't go charging in there or driving my car in amongst them. I don't do that shit because I like breathing. I don't like lead traveling through my body at 1,200 feet per second. So I avoid that kind of shit. We got to call it straight from both sides. Was the cop wrong? Probably, maybe, I don't know. Video can be edited. Video, I don't know. Was she wrong for getting involved in this shit? Yes, yes. She's the only difference is I don't know whether he was wrong or not because she's not here to tell her side of the story. She's dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's all bullshit. And if they want to involve themselves with ICE, involve yourselves. Go ahead. But deal with the consequences, which she did, and he did. The guy that got shot too. He dealt with the consequences. Tripwire, what's up, Trip? Glad to see you here. Shannon, hey Shannon, glad to see you here. Yeah, yeah. For the love of God, don't cry in front of a woman. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Oh, okay. Yeah, Christopher. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that's tough, man. You have my condolences, dude. Seriously, honestly, you have my condolences. That kind of shit's tough, dude. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah. All we can do is, struggle on. What else is there to do? Soldier on. Keep on moving forward. That old saying always resonates with me. I forget who said it. I think it was a general, Patton or somebody. When you're going through hell, what do you do when you're going through hell? Keep on going. That's the only thing you can do. Keep on going. Um, yeah. Back to the Stone Age. Hell yeah. Yeah. Oh, Stoned Age. Okay. I thought we were talking about the apocalypse, Chris. Yeah, no, we're talking about the ganja. uh, oh, okay. Oh, all right, Roz. A little bit of the midlife crisis. Well, everybody's entitled to it. I just haven't had time for that shit. I've been, trying to pay the bills the whole time. So I might have if if I had the time and resources. Yeah, we've been taking humiliating kicks to the groin like champs since 1965, Christopher. Yeah. Your wife was like Wednesday Adams, Ross. You can do worse, dude. Yeah. Goth chicks are hot, dude. In order to bake an apple pie from scratch, one must first create the universe. Carl Sagan. Yeah, Dread. Yeah. Yeah. That some of that shit is awesome. They're profound, right? They're so simple and so true, but profound when you really think about them. Your silent trip? Yeah. Yeah. We all suffer in silence, dude. Stockholm syndrome, Roz. Yeah. Yeah, Carl Sagan was a beast, Hurst. Yeah. Yeah. Brad Davis, what's up? Christopher, I don't like either side. Yeah. And um I've been saying that for a long time, here on Gen X Thinks, is that they're both uh I'm not saying I am I am I am indoctrinated and propagandized, and as much as anybody else. I'm not sitting up here on a high horse saying, "Oh, my eyes are wide open and I know everything." And all. No, no, I'm not. I am, but at least I'm aware of my indoctrination when it comes out of my mouth, and I say some shit, and I realize that's indoctrination. You know what I mean? Uh, so I'm at least I'm aware that I'm indoctrinated, and that's the best claim I can make. I believe that those people who are just all on the right and vote Republican every time, no matter what, and vote Democrat all the time, no matter what, and it's always the Democrat or Republican's fault for everything that's going wrong in the country, in the world. I believe that a lot of them just aren't awake to their indoctrination yet. You know what I mean? I believe we're all indoctrinated to some level, but some of us are aware of it and are trying to make changes inside ourselves and with our own indoctrination. Maybe even trying to wake other people up, but some people are just still completely asleep. They're not even awake enough to realize that that they're indoctrinated. Yeah, that might be part of the problem. Just another guy in the woods. Yeah, they might become famous. Yeah, that whole culture about becoming famous with one video and shit. Yeah, yeah, Shannon. Just going out of your way to be a dick to the cops it's bad form. You know what I mean? It's not going to end up well for you. I don't call the cops. No, I mean I wouldn't call the cops no matter what. If I was laying there bleeding, it would somebody else would have to call the cops. Uh, and I'm not being talking shit there. That's just a literal fact. Uh, I don't want to be involved with the cops for any reason. So to go out of my way to involve myself with them, I know the situation's going to go south. right? Nothing good can come of it. Nothing at all. There was no outcome of me running over there, involving myself in a situation with the authorities that are dealing with someone else. Me running across the street and getting involved in that. There's no way that in any universe, no alternate timeline or anything, where that ends up okay for me, where I come out of that better in any way, or the person that they're dealing with, right? Not even for the cops, because now the cops are going to be under investigation and shit. It's just going to end up bad all the way around for everyone. Warmelian, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Glad to see you here. Anti-woke? Yeah. I'm the damn anti-woke, like the Christians version of the Antichrist. I'm the woke's version of the Antichrist. I'm anti-woke, yeah. Yep, you can yeah. Yeah, you can say I'm anti-woke. Warmelian, Leon. Well, I don't know what to call you. I'll call you a War. How about that? After months, or Flowers, Duncan. Yeah, yeah, Christopher. Yeah, raised to beat a bully, help the underdog, and run with devil dogs. Yeah. Thor's Day. Yeah, I like Norse mythology. Yeah, if everyone on the planet would do that, just leave everyone else alone living. Yeah, just leave everyone else alone. Take care of your own, leave everyone else alone, especially politicians. Yeah. And all this victimhood shit, like, right? Victimhood is blaming all of your life's problems on somebody else. I'm a victim, right? Like that thing I read earlier. I'm a victim of female narcissism. It, I don't, it's not me. I don't have bad taste in women. I'm a victim of female narcissism. I'm not, I'm not a man. I can't accept responsibility for my actions. And that's that whole progressive woke shit. You know what I mean? That they're promoting, and that's the shit that gets promoted in the algorithm. They'll and normal, just common sense thinking does not, right. It just doesn't get promoted in the algorithm, unless it takes a lot more. People have to share it, and it takes a community to build and stuff like that. It just takes, not saying it can't happen, it just takes a lot longer. I'm not going to make an anti woke video and go viral. It's just not going to happen. The algorithm will not allow it, right? A common sense, just down to earth video and it go viral. Uh, it's just not going to happen. Right now, you make some woke shit about being a victim, how men are victims, and all this shit. Well, yeah, there's a good, not a good chance, but there's at least a chance that some shit like that will go viral. Yeah, natives traded America for beads. Yeah, my mine has been a slower progress underground. Um, but more basically because I didn't give a shit. I just didn't care. I just wanted to party and uh, shit when I was younger. I just didn't give a shit. I did not think that I would live to be 30, let alone 54. You know what I mean? I honestly didn't think I would survive that long. Didn't even consider surviving that long. It never crossed my mind. So yeah, I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention to that shit, to the indoctrination. Didn't care. So, but as I got older, I've kind of been more interested in stuff and been slowly waking up to things. And the biggest thing I've woken up to is the level of my indoctrination. and it's pretty damn deep. And I'll be the first to admit it. Like I say, I'm not the one up here saying that that I'm awake and everybody else is sheeple and all that shit. I'm not saying that at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that shit. What I'm saying is that we're all indoctrinated to one degree or another. And a lot of people believe that shit, that Native Americans traded America for beads. You know what I mean? Because that's what they were taught. And so, we got to just do your own thinking, do your own studying, and look into shit that interests you. Is my advice to anyone, any thinking human being, anyway. Most people don't think today. So just sit back. Well, you could go get shot underground. If you go for it, dude. If you want to go busting over there and tussling with the cops and shit, I'm not advising you not to. Everybody can go wrestle with the cops if they want. I personally do not. And I personally have never been shot by a police officer. No, do you do whatever your moral compass, whichever direction your moral compass guides you in that situation. I'm just saying, if you stick your hand in a cage with a rattlesnake, what's going to be the outcome? You know what I'm saying? Uh, I'm not telling you not to stick your hand in the cage with a rattlesnake. Go ahead. That's for each person to decide themselves. But I'm not an asshole or an idiot for saying, hey, you might get bit. Just you might get bit if you do that. All I'm saying is, for the people who want to go and get wrestling with the cops when it's none of their business, they might get shot. Uh, do it, don't do it. I'm not going to get shot because I'm not going to do it. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. AF, what's up, AF? Uh, yeah, the loud vocal side is always not the side I support. Yeah, I agree, AF. Yeah, yeah. Never felt the need to shout my ideas or strangers or join a protest. Yep. Yeah, I don't either. I don't understand it either, AF, at all. Stress relief is always good. Yeah. Yeah. And impeding them, hindering them from doing their thing. I forget what it's called. Interfering with them and their duties is breaking the law. It's a crime. So yeah, and I don't agree with all crimes, dude. All laws, all victimless crimes. Y'all know I don't agree with them at all, unless they protect children or animals. Michelle, what's up, Michelle? Glad to see you here. Uh-oh, Chaz is reloading. You hit the pause button, everybody. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, Christopher, you're looking at houses over in Beverly Hills? All right. Josh sees. What's up, Josh? Glad to see you here, man. Uh yeah, just don't be an asshole. Yeah. Yeah. But I really, it really boggles my mind, Josh, how hard people find it to not do something, right? Just don't do it. That's the easiest shit in the world. Me and Raziel here, we're gonna have a contest to see which one of us can do nothing for the longest. We've got that down to a science. Yeah, we can do nothing. So people like us have a hard time with people who just got can't restrain themselves. Right? There's no self restraint in there. I have to go get involved in that situation. I just have no choice, right? So I can't empathize with people like that at all. Jim Lotus, Native Americans never existed. I've never heard that one before. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I know, and have known a lot of Native Americans, and they had grandparents and stuff. So I'm not sure I buy into that one. I'll need a little more explanation there. I'll have to look into it. Now, from what direction do you get that? Where do you get that information, Jim Lotus? By the way, yeah, Jim Lotus, welcome to the show. Thanks for showing up. I'm trying to wake up from the brainwash, Jim. That's what I'm doing. Everybody thinks Gen Xers are assholes because we're built different and fear nothing and want the truth and have common sense. Yep, I agree there, Michelle. You can't. Hey, Laic, y'all didn't burn witches over there in Norway. Vikings never burned witches. That was us over here in the Salem witch trials and shit. Yeah, those the victims of female narcissism, the result of not burning witches. Shit, that's funny as hell. Yeah, have y'all heard that thing about how they used to see if a woman was a witch, they'd wrap her in chains and throw her in a lake. If she drowned, she was innocent. If she got out somehow and got back to the shore, they burnt her at the stake as a witch. People were crazy. People were crazy back then. Are we the only, like, is this the Gen X is the only like little slice of sanity in all of human history, right? Is that where we're at? Because the younger people are nuts too. You believe in karma, Hurst? I personally, I've never seen that shit take effect. If karma is a thing, somebody would have Bill Gates in a basement somewhere, pulling out fingernails and shit or something. I don't know, or something like that. I don't know. I don't see bad people getting what they deserve, and I see too much bad shit happening to good people to say that about for my own self. Now, people have. I'm sure a lot of people have seen evidence of it. I personally never have. I don't believe in miracles. A lot of people will say that God performs miracles and stuff, and they've seen them. I personally have never seen one, not once. So that kind of stuff we can agree to disagree on. They never did fake ice. Yeah, but full-blooded Cherokee. Yeah, I'm a little bit of Nez Perce. I've got Nez Perce in me. Custer is not real either. No, Custer doesn't exist anymore. I can't prove he exists. He doesn't exist anymore. Well, yeah. I mean, on one level or another, it's all artificial, Jim. So anything that was created is artificial. I mean, we create shit that's artificial. If you, there's a creator, so it's artificial. It was made. It wasn't. It didn't just spontaneously combust. You know. So I'm just I just don't believe everything I'm told. I just can't. You say that stuff about there were no Native Americans and that stuff, and okay, but here's the thing, Jim. You can say that prove to me that there were there were Native Americans in the past. Well, I can say the same thing back to you. Prove to me that there weren't. Right? That argument cannot be. You can't. There's no proof of any of it in today's day and age. We can find artifacts or whatever, but is that proof? No, that's evidence. There's no proof of anything that happened yesterday, right? Let alone hundreds of years ago. So we can both sit here and say all that stuff. Prove it. Well, there is no proof. It can't be proven. There is no proof until we get a time machine. There is no proof. So I'm not going to sit here and say there were 100% definitely Native Americans in the past, but I'm 99.999% sure that there were. Okay. And I'm not going to say that there weren't Native American, either side of the story. I believe, I feel inside me, I lean one way or the other. Flat Earth and spherical Earth. Do I believe the Earth is flat? No. Could it have been? Yes. It absolutely could have been. It could be flat. Because I've never seen it with my own two eyes. I've never flown out into outer space and looked down at spherical Earth. So I don't know. Maybe it's flat, but I'm pretty damn sure that it's a sphere in my own with using my own senses and my own experience in life, and using my own senses and my own experience in life. I'm pretty damn sure that Native Americans existed. I've known plenty of them, and they had grandparents who told them stories about life and how it was on the living in the late 1800s and shit. So yeah, I'm pretty damn sure there were Native Americans. But do I know that 100%? No. Maybe it was all just lies. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe Oliver. Yeah, maybe. But it's a good point to bring up so that people can realize that there is no proof. All we have is evidence. Prove this, prove that. There is no proof. Nobody can prove anything, and that's just the honest truth. Witch Master, what's up, Witch Master? Glad to see you here. Yes. Okay. Show me the facts that Native Americans did not exist. Jim, show me the facts. And video doesn't count. Photographs don't count. A photograph of an empty plane with no, an empty field with no Native Americans in it, that doesn't count. All right. Yeah. I can show you a bunch of pictures of mountains and lakes with no boats on them, just empty lakes. I could show you all kinds of evidence that there weren't Native Americans on the planet. But that's just empty pictures with nobody in it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to think, dude. Come on, we got to think. We can't just buy into that. The Earth is flat. All right, Jim. I try to be, understanding and respectful to everybody. But you really need to think about what you know and what you believe to be true. All right. I invite you to do that. Think about this stuff with us, because that is the thing about being truly awake, knowing that you're indoctrinated. If you believe something is 100% true, it's a total fact, and there's no other, that's indoctrination. I hate to be the one to break it to you, man, and I don't want to break that to people. It's fun to investigate flat Earth, but to say I 100% know something when I've never been. How many times have you flown into outer space and looked down at the plate that we call Earth, the flat plate of Earth? All right, we gotta think about stuff. We just can't hear that the Earth is a sphere or hear that it's flat. Somebody else told me that, right? And that's exactly what happened. Somebody else told you that the Earth is flat. You didn't find that out on your own. You didn't go to the moon and look down and see that it's flat. Somebody else told you that shit. Oh, you think it's a bot? I probably am, dude, ain't I? But it's a good point to bring up, though, Hurst. Yeah. All right. So I'll quit arguing with the bot. Quit trying to get the bot to think with us. Okay. Good point, Hurst. Connecting the rabbit holes. What's up? Yeah, history is a set of lies agreed upon. Yep. Underground. Yeah. Well, I've known people who believe that they know things 100% as a fact, and that's part of waking up to realize that we don't know almost nothing. Do we know 100% as a fact? I th- I think I think just another guy in the woods vouched for him. Yeah, I think it was Laic. Let's blame Laic. Peaked in eighth grade. Oh, okay. She died from TB. Okay. Yes, question everything. Absolutely. Holodeck can be any shape. Yeah, you're right, Brad. They can probably change that shit at will, right? Is the moon flat? 1167? Oh, I don't think so. I've never seen even any evidence that it is. The Earth is deflated, Duncan. Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah, Tomcat. Yeah, well, I've seen documentaries though, but like I said, that's other people telling me shit. They could have been completely AI generated for all I know. The documentaries on the penguins and stuff and the polar bears. I watch those all the time. I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, Hurst. The entire universe flat. Now that is more probable, Duncan. Um, that is actually something that could very likely be the case. The universe could be in any shape, right? It could be in any shape. It could be flat, a sphere, an oval, anything. Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, Gen Xers stick together. Yeah, I don't. For everyone concerned, this kind of stuff doesn't happen very often here. But I just don't block people. I don't censor. I don't block. I don't block in the comments. I don't block here. I don't censor or block anybody. Um, unless they're putting just paragraphs of gibberish. But if he's saying his piece and he's and I can't I don't know that he's a bot. He might be a bot. You know what I'm saying? Just like everything else, I don't know. So I'm not into the censorship thing unless it becomes truly just unbearable. I'm not going to do it. If y'all can block that user, if y'all want to, I don't know. I've never tried to block anybody's comments on YouTube. I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, Hawaiians are considered Native American. Uh, yeah, is that yeah? I guess Native American along those lines. Maybe that's why. Okay, that's why Native Americans would want to distinguish themselves and not be lumped in a bigger category because Native Americans are separate from Hawaiians. So yeah, when I think of Native Americans, I don't think of Hawaiians. But you're right, Chaz. Technically, they would be right. So indigenous people to North America would be different than the bigger label of Native American. Are you a dream? Yeah, trip. Yeah. Yeah, living. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel. And that's another thing. Um, I mean, are we all Native Americans now? There's a solid argument for that. We are Native Americans because we were born here. Our grandparents were born here. Um, and if we're not, then nobody is because the Native Americans migrated here from Siberia across the Bering Strait, according to mainstream history. So what the hell do we believe? All we got to do is keep an open mind and try to have good, enjoyable conversations with each other, trying to figure the shit out. She tried to read the waffle iron. Simulation theory, yeah, yeah. Hurst, you're right. Yeah, that is fascinating. This place is run by narcissists. Genex thinks, or the United States, or whatever country you're in, or the entire world. 1167. Beer and cigarette smoke, all right. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, when Joe. Yeah, I'm not judging other moderators. They can do their thing. I'm not trying to get on any kind of high horse. I just believe in freedom, point blank freedom. That's the thing that we should all be striving for. The goal of every hour of our lives, from one direction or another, is to be free. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to be part of disrupting that unless it just becomes unbearable. Unless we are unable to communicate with each other because some bot is throwing so much shit out there so fast that I can't keep up. So yeah. Yeah, what if we are all Westworld and don't know it, Witchmaster? That's an interesting thought, isn't it? Yeah, and it's possible. I mean, prove we're not in Westworld, right? Why, Witchmaster? Prove it. You can't prove it. So it's really cool. Take back control of your imagination to change the world. Yeah, Brad. Yeah. 3 pound slab of anxiety. Well, we're all residents then. Underground, we're all residents. We're all residents of the planet Earth. We can call ourselves whatever we want, natives, resident, whatever. It's just they're just words. If we want to define it like that, then we are all residents of the planet Earth. We were all born here. No one, almost no one, is born in the land that their prehistoric ancestors were born in. We've all migrated around so much that it's really pointless now to talk about it. But if there are natives, right, then whoever's born in that country is a native. It's just, in my opinion, if there are no natives, then yeah, we're all just residents. Block people that disagree with your opinion. Yeah, I don't do that for damn sure. Yeah, you'd rather be in Doctor Who, Duncan. Van Tassel's Terrytown, New York. Christopher, I've never heard of that. Synths from Fallout. Japan had it before us. Hawaii before the United States. Yeah, I think so. I read that book, Hawaii. That's a fascinating book. Wherever you go, there you are. Jason Cheney, what's up? Light Day, what's up? Glad to see you here. Yeah, and that's another thing. We can all debate all this stuff, and it's interesting, but it really it's not going to change anything, you know. Um, so what if we find out none of us are natives, none of us are even residents? The space aliens are real. The Earth is flat. What if we found out all that shit all at one time? Would it change anything? No, I'd still have to get up and go to work tomorrow if I found out they passed some law and I found out that I'm not native to the United States. That technically, because of some zoning ordinance in the 70s, I was technically, even though physically born here, I was technically legally born in Cuba or something. You know what I mean? So I'm not. So whatever, it wouldn't change anything. I'd still have to get up and go to work tomorrow. You know what I mean? Nothing would change if aliens, come down and start talking to Donald Trump over there in Washington D.C. I still have to go to work tomorrow. I can't throw down my tools and refuse to go to work and let my electricity get turned off and all that shit. Nothing's going to change. Not in the big overall scheme. I mean, we can change things if we decide to and come together and enact good change for ourselves and the planet and each other, but and that's something that they're doing over there in Australia now, uh, and I love to see that. Damn, I should have put that link down, Tripwire, of that video you sent me so everybody can see it. But that's awesome. They're doing some really great stuff over there in Australia now. Yeah, I say that AF about how dirty we did the Native Americans. We say we. There's my indoctrination right there. How dirty the United States government did the Native Americans back in the 17 and 1800s, right? And people want to argue with me, okay? Um, because like I'm some kind of hippie, uh, leftist communist or something. You know what I mean? And then I'll say something like that, talk about whether we're native or not, and then Native Americans or people other people will get mad at me for being on the other side. So I get it from both ways, you know, just coming from a common sense middle ground where we're all here together. Let's share this shit. Words don't matter. Who gives a shit if some black guy wants to call himself Native American, or if I want to call myself a Native African? Who gives a shit? Honestly, what difference does it make? If a guy wants to call himself a woman over there, I don't care. That makes no difference. Now, if he wants to go into a woman's bathroom, if I want to try to get paid, if I'm going to be fraudulent and claim to be Native American and defraud the government and shit, or defraud the reservation or whatever, yeah, now we got a problem because I'm doing stuff. You know what I mean? But just talking and trying to figure things out and who we are, I don't see any harm in that kind of stuff. The Somalis in Minnesota. Yeah, yeah. Try to catch up here. Oh yeah, Hurst. Yeah, Rusty Cage. I love that song. Slave to the Grind. Yep. Jason Skid Row. Yeah, shitty pay and annoying people. Aliens in the White House, yeah. Well, you okay. Underground, you want to say you know damn well what a Native American is. Okay, what is a Native American? I've seen people change what they want to be called almost daily. Indigenous, Native American, Lakota, Nez Perce. Some people want to be called by their tribal name. They don't want to be even called indigenous. Some people, all they want to be called is indigenous. Some people want to be called Native Americans. Some people want to be called Indians still. And American Indian. What was wrong with that? They're just words. Who gives a shit? Why people want to get upset when some people can change whatever the hell they want? Call me this, call me that, call me this, and change it like they change their socks. But other people can't. They can't do that. We can't do that. I'm a white guy. That's all I can be ever. Now, if you're black, you can change what you want to be called. If you're Hispanic, you can change what you want to be called. But if you're a white guy, you can't change what you want to be called. Everybody else tells you what you're going to be. Nobody's going to tell me what I'm going to be. Okay, I'll call myself Jackawazabu if I want. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I'll call myself whatever the hell I damn want, and that's just like everybody else. Why everybody else can call themselves whatever they want and be identify as whatever they want, but heaven forbid someone else do the same if they're the wrong color. That's prejudice. That's plain and simple. You can't, and that's just the truth. So, I mean, I don't want to get into that kind of stuff too much. I'm more about call yourselves whatever the hell you want. I don't give a shit. Why does anybody give a shit what I call myself? Think about it. That's a simple question. That's a simple question, and I think it deserves an answer. Why can't I call myself whatever I want when other people can? I'm just in favor of freedom. If a black guy wants to call himself Native American, go ahead. If a Native American wants to call himself black, go ahead. Native American wants to call himself a white guy, more power to him. I don't care. What's the damn difference? They're words. Why are we getting upset and dividing each other over words? And again, that's indoctrination. Plain and simple. It's indoctrination. We need to open our eyes to that. Who gives a shit what somebody else calls themselves? We're being divided. And it's on purpose. It's by design. Yeah. Love is pheromones and chemical reactions. Yeah. Either that or I think there's love is connected to the spirit somehow, Hurst. I would like to believe, let's put it like that, spiritual in some way, shape, or form. First Nations, okay, Shannon. They're words, you know. I mean, honestly, we're debating and stuff over words, what words mean and stuff, and that words change definitions all the time. So I'm just, uh, I really have a hard time understanding why people get upset over words. Told you you're not Native American. I'm an Indian. Yeah. Savage. Yeah. Well, I grew up with Native American friends, really close, good friends, damn near family, and they called themselves Indians. That's what they called themselves. That's what they wanted to be. If I called them anything else, and not in an angry way, but they might correct me. Okay. Yeah. Native American is a general term for people indigenous to these lands. There are no people indigenous to these lands underground. Everyone migrated here. Every single human being on North or South America right now migrated here at some point. There are no indigenous people to these lands. People did not evolve from America. They evolved over there in Africa and Europe and shit, and then spread out. So what you're saying, just unless, according to mainstream, science and history and shit. Now that could be wrong. But they've traced the DNA back, and the people here migrated from Asia, North Asia and shit. Disrespect. Yes, I don't see it. I'm not calling myself a Navajo, but I am native to America. I myself. How long? What's the cutoff limit underground for a person to be able to call themselves native? How many years? 1,000? After 1,000 years? 549 years? How long does a people have to be on a patch of dirt to be able to call themselves native to that patch of dirt? I've never seen a number. We probably each have a different number in our heads if you've ever thought about it. But this is America, and I am native to America. I mean, just factually, no disrespect meant to anyone. If people want to be offended by that, I can't help it. But I don't run around filling out forms claiming to be Native American, and most of us here don't run around claiming to be Native American on a daily basis. It's just a conversation, and by the definitions of the words, we are native to America, and we're all Native Americans at this point. We're all in one group who should be fighting together for the same good purposes, for each other's welfare. And screw the words and the division and the disrespect and the offense and all this shit. Screw all that shit, right? We need to stand together and come and unite on our commonalities, and not be divided and upset and disrespected on the petty little bullshit definitions of words, or not. Strimbles, what's up, Strimbles? What's going on? Your brother is Gen X and native Floridian, Christopher? Well, hell, that makes him a good dude off the bat, right? Off the rip, he's a good dude. We all know that. You did have a lot of dream catchers, Ross? Yeah, bots AF. Words can be used as a weapon. Uh Sniz, I kind of disagree with that. I can't get on board with that whole words are violence and words can be weaponized and all that stuff. Um Nobody can hurt me with words. I mean, honestly, Sniz, nobody can hurt me with words. No one on this planet unless I allow them to. If we want to talk about it, like, I can allow words to be weapons that someone else says, that's my choice. But no one else can use them against me. No one else can wield words to hurt me, and be effective unless I allow it. Because I can blow that shit off. I don't care, what anybody says about me. I'm ugly. I'm stupid. I'm retarded. I'm gay. Whatever. I don't care. You know, people can have all kinds of opinions about me, and I honestly do not give a shit. You know what I mean? Well, it's true. You see it. I'm just talking about facts, underground. You see it all the time. These idiots identifying as whatever they want, right? But but if you get hung up, I'm not saying I identify as a Native American, but to look at the words and say that I am a Native American, I don't see the horrifying degradation in that sentence. I just don't see it. And I can. People do identify. If a man can identify as a woman and claim to be able to have children, uh, it's just crazy. Okay, people can identify as whatever they want, but to make the rest of the world believe it and fall in line with it is another thing completely. Okay, that's where the bullshit starts. I can identify as a Native American, but to make the rest of the world, make me part owner in a casino and shit because I identify as a Native American. Now I'm retarded when I try to make the rest of the world bend to my feelings and shit. And I don't identify as a Native American. I'm a white guy. I'm just saying, I don't identify as shit except what the hell I am. Um, but yeah, people can identify as whatever they want. It's when you want the rest of the world to partake in your little fantasy, that's when the lunacy begins, the real true lunacy. Yeah, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Yeah, Michelle. Oh, yeah, is it? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, great talk, especially you, underground. I like these conversations where we kind of where people can see us disagree amicably and discuss things that need to be discussed, because these things need to be discussed. We probably didn't change each other's minds, but we had a good conversation about it. We didn't get all pissed off and start, typing. You didn't type any cuss words at me. I didn't cuss at you or anything. We're still have another good conversation in the future, and that's the way it should be, underground. And I appreciate you coming on here and putting your 2 cents in and showing me and everybody else, another perspective, because I just think that's very important, really, truly important. Okay, now, um, here's the deal for the next couple of days. I got to let everybody know I am actually going out of town today. I'm Saint somewhere. I forget the name of the town right now. But I'm going to spend the night down there remodeling a kitchen for my day job. So there will not be a live stream tonight or tomorrow morning. Okay. Now, so the next live stream will be Thursday morning, right? Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. So Thursday morning will be the next live stream. Okay, everybody. I just want to let everybody know, and I'll make a post and put it on YouTube and the what is that, Discord, to remind everybody. But yeah, I'll be gone for a couple days doing real work in the fake world, making some fake money to buy some cheap Chinese bullshit. No, to pay rent and electricity. So yeah. Um, so don't get worried about me when I don't make a video next couple days. I'm just working out of town. So, and I want to say thank you to the bot Jim Lotus, Duncan, Michelle, hanging with Christopher, Brad Davis, Oliver, Mr. Hurst, just another guy in the woods, Tomcat. Let's see who else we got here. Savage Lee, AF, Electronic Music Underground. Did I say just another guy in the woods? sometimes these things run into each other with me. Raziel, Winjo, Living and Active, Tripwire, Michelle, Witchmaster, Sherry Long. Yeah, there's your hairspray, Sherry. I didn't see that comment earlier, but yeah, got some Aquanet back there. 1167, Strimbles, Chaz. Can't forget my boy Chaz over there in Arizona. Who else we got? Connecting the Rabbit Holes. Let's see. I think, did I get everybody? It was an interesting conversation today. Armored Ghost was here. Light Day. Can't forget Light Day. Rusty Doob. Rusty Doob, you snuck in here on me, dude. I didn't even see you, dude. All right. I think I got everybody. Jason Cheney. All right. Okay, I think I got everybody. And goodbye to everybody. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on Thursday morning, okay? And I know all of y'all have been waiting patiently. Well, everybody's been patient except Jim Lotus there. He's chomping at the bit for the spiel, isn't he? Dog Karma. Bye, Dog Karma. And this spiel is going to go out to Electronic Music Underground, even though he tunes out before the spiel probably. But this one is for Electronic Music Underground as a thank you for the great conversation today. Thanks, Underground. I appreciate your time, buddy. Sincerely, man. I really do. And I appreciate your perspective. All right. So without further ado, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one. Be cool, everybody. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, it's only $2.99 a month, and I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. But I really appreciate all the support from the members out there. This is the members banner here, and I really appreciate these people. They support the channel directly through memberships, and it helps out a lot, so thank you very much to all the members. If you're interested in Gen X gear, we got some pretty cool stuff over there at Redbubble. Gen X things and Gen X branded stuff, t-shirts, coffee mugs, stickers, hoodies, all kinds of stuff. But I'll leave that link down in the description too for any of you who are interested. If you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Things, please put those down in the comments, or you can email us, and the email is genxthings@gmail.com. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.